Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment, where the Philadelphia Eagles defeat the Chicago Bears 16-15 to end what has definitely been a wild card weekend to begin the 2018-19 NFL playoffs. And I told you all when I made my playoff predictions, I was not looking forward to making my predictions. I wasn't looking forward to it at all because I really have no idea what's going to happen in these playoffs. That's already being proven. I was 1-3 this weekend with my wildcard picks, as 3 of the road teams went on the road and got it done. Things are wild and I'm loving it. People did not love the football this weekend. I loved it, right? I know people love their high-scoring affairs. I like some defensive battles every now and then. I enjoyed this weekend of football and I enjoyed this game, and it was a hell of a game, especially in the fourth quarter. Both of these quarterbacks set up their teams for success. You saw Mitchell Trubisky down 9-10, drive down the field, have some nice big throws, and Allen Robinson coming down with the go-ahead touchdown. And then Nick Foles, man, he came back and he had Nick Foles magic yet again, leading the Eagles all the way down to 4th and goal, and then delivering the final touchdown to Golden Tate. And then Mitchell Trubisky, still with 56 seconds left on the clock, he came back down the field, was able to hit Allen Robinson yet again for another big play, got his team all the way down the field, I want to say to about the 28-yard line, but unfortunately Cody, Parkey, are you kidding me, missing the field goal, hitting the upright, and then hitting the crossbar as well. And I have never seen this. I mean, this was like a WWE event in terms of the crowd being shocked. I mean, everyone went dead silent. It was like someone died in the middle of the football field. I mean, just everyone was in shock. No one could believe it. Every soul was just sucked out of the building. It was insane and just absolute heartbreak for the Chicago Bears. But if I'm a Chicago Bears fan, I'm feeling pretty good about myself and my football team. Yes, I know you guys wanted to win the Super Bowl this season. You do not want to be one and done. But I saw Mitchell Trubisky have some nice throws in this game, and he ultimately led you down and probably should have won this football game. But unfortunately, Cody Parkey was just not good enough. And I don't want to pile it all on the kicker, but you got to make a 43-yard field goal. I mean, you just have to make that, especially on a winless night like tonight. You have to make that field goal, absolutely, period. And he was not able to do it, and that's all she wrote. But Trubisky, I'm up and down on Trubisky in terms of my evaluation for him. You remember prior to the 2017 NFL draft, I had him as my quarterback #1. I had him over Mahomes, over Watson, over Kaiser. My official rankings were Trubisky 1, Mahomes 2, Kaiser 3, Watson 4. Now, we can disagree on the rankings right now, but I think we can all pretty much say it's Mahomes 1, Watson 2, Trubisky 3, with Watson and Trubisky battling for who really is the second best out of that draft class. Now, right now, I probably will put Watson ahead of him, but Trubisky, I still love what I saw from him in the fourth quarter. He did lead his team down twice to win the game. One to have the go-ahead touchdown and the other to get the what should have been game-winning field goal. Now, when it comes to him reading the field, he's still not really great at it. And at one point in the game, he was 5 of 14 when he held the ball longer than 2.5 seconds. You know, whenever he's sitting in the pocket, whenever he has to go from read to read, go through his progressions, he has some struggles. I do believe Deshaun Watson and definitely Patrick Mahomes are better in terms of their aspects of that game than he is right now. However, he does do a good job of holding onto the football. He doesn't turn over the ball often, so you definitely have to give him credit for that. And in terms of him being potentially the guy that can carry the Bears to a Super Bowl, I think he certainly can be. I think you saw a lot of promising things today, but at the same time, he did only put up 15 points at home, and you do need more than 15 points at home. Although he led them down for the game-winning field goal at the end, or what should have been the game-winning field goal, that still would have only been 18 points. You're going to have to score more points than that. But this is only his second season. I think he's going to continue to progress. There's a lot of good things you're seeing from him. And in terms of the weaponry, I think the weaponry is already ready to go. You have Allen Robinson locked up for a number of years. Taylor Gabriel, same thing. You're going to see improvement from Adam Shaheen. And also Tariq Cohen's a great receiving back. I think the weapon's already there. He needs to be more comfortable. He'll continue to progress, get older, get more mature, and you'll be fine in terms of that. So for the Philadelphia Eagles, are we really about to do this again? Now, winners of 4 straight games, are you kidding me? Nicholas Foles, Saint Nick, did me in again. Man, this guy is just, I don't know, man. I mean, it's just going to be very interesting to watch this team moving forward. Now, they're going to have to go to New Orleans next week, and that's going to be a hell of a matchup. But Nick Foles just keeps doing anything he has to lead the Eagles to victory against the #1 defense, the Chicago Bears. I mean, they've been the best defense all year. They turn the ball over. They stop you from being able to run the football. The Eagles' run offense today was absolutely limited. It didn't matter. Nick Foles delivered that rock. He had a couple interceptions in the first half, but in the second half, man, he was damn near perfect, and he led the Eagles to victory, point blank, period. I mean, Alshon Jeffrey was huge. Golden Tate had the touchdown. This was his biggest game as a Philadelphia Eagle, especially when you consider the stakes. So, I mean, they're hot right now, man. Zach Ertz was doing his thing. Dallas Goedert had a couple of impressive catches today. Now, ultimately, I don't have the Eagles going to winning the Super Bowl. I mean, I think right now the run game, it's just non-existent. And yes, they're facing the Chicago Bears defense today, and that's a large reason why. But Darren Sproles and Wendell Smallwood, I mean, eventually that's really going to hurt you when you're going up against these potent teams like the New Orleans Saints and the LA Rams, who first of all have better quarterbacks than you, but second of all definitely have better run games as well. I mean, how are you going to go up against these two offenses and absolutely be able to outscore them? I just don't see it. Now, yes, their defenses aren't great, okay, so you're definitely going to have some success, but sustained success and more success than they'll have, I just don't see that. But I didn't see you guys winning this game in Chicago today, right? So who knows? Okay, like I said, I don't know what's going to happen in these playoffs. I just wanted to get in. I wanted my team to get in, and they couldn't, right? So who knows? But it's a great win for the Eagles, and ultimately the stat line wasn't great for Nick Foles, 25 of 40, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But again, his second half performance was great. He was about 15 of 24, had like 200 yards, and had the 2 touchdowns, including the game-winning touchdown. Outside of that, defensively for both teams, you saw Khalil Mack be a little bit limited today, wasn't able to get a sack, but he had definitely a key tackle for loss at the end of the game and made his impact known. But how about Roquan Smith, a linebacker for the Chicago Bears? This guy was flying around. This guy is just incredibly fast. He's going to continue to improve. The rookie out of Georgia, I'm expecting him to continue to progress, and I can't wait to see the player that he becomes in the future. So with that said, I just want to really quickly summarize the other games, just give my quick thoughts on the other games, and then we'll get out of here. The LA Chargers were able to defeat the Baltimore Ravens today 23-17, and man, Lamar Jackson struggled. And this is what I'm telling you, people. Look, I like Lamar Jackson. He is absolutely dangerous on the open field. Good luck stopping him on the open field. But as a thrower, man, he is limited. Those first 3 quarters were Tim Tebow-esque, people. He had 25 passing yards through 3 quarters. It was really bad. I mean, it was really bad. Now, he came through late, okay, until he fumbled the ball away. He had the 2 touchdown drives, gave the Ravens a chance to win the football game. He's going to improve, hopefully, in the upcoming years. But, man, he is just too limited as a passer to me, and we're gonna see if he can even stay healthy, because if he continues to run over 10 times per game, you just have to question how sustainable that is for his body. But this is my problem with Lamar Jackson. He just is not consistent enough as a passer. 25 passing yards through 3 quarters. I mean, that is just insane on what was really a beautiful day in Baltimore. It's not like it was raining or snowing or anything. I mean, this was pretty good throwing circumstances. Now, the LA Chargers defense is good, but it's not that good. I mean, it's ridiculous. He has to throw to receivers. Like, he has no intention of throwing to his wide receivers, and his wide receiving core is not bad. I mean, you have John Brown, Michael Crabtree, and Willie Snead, and you also have Hayden Hurst and Max Williams. I mean, you have definitely some weapons. Mark Andrews, plenty of weapons in Baltimore, but he just refuses to throw the football, especially to his wide receivers. So he's going to continue to improve, but those are my concerns on Lamar Jackson, and those proved to be true today. For the Chargers, I think they didn't really show up entirely today. They didn't play a complete football game, but they still won, right? And they pretty much dominated the game. Offensively, they weren't that aggressive. They only threw, like, their most explosive play was like a 28-yard catch by Mike Williams, right? That's going to have to be fixed next week going up against New England. And then defensively, in the fourth quarter, they gave up until they really had to show up at the very end of the game. They let Lamar Jackson go down the field pretty easily, score 2 touchdowns. So if they want to beat the Patriots next week, and I really do think that they can and and probably will, honestly, if they really show up. They had to play better on both sides of football, but this is the Chargers, right? The Chargers normally do whatever is necessary, like just whatever is necessary. I remember them going against the Bengals and Jeff Driscoll a couple weeks ago, and they just barely did enough to win. And then against the Broncos, they barely did enough to win. Like, that's their move. But when they go up against the Patriots next week, they have to play a complete game. I think they're better than the Patriots on both sides of the football, right? But they have to play like it from beginning of the game to end of the game, and they could be Super Bowl bound. Remember what I told you in my playoff predictions, okay? Although I've been wrong thus far, I told you I really believe it's either going to be the Chargers or the Chiefs that take this thing, and right now it can be, right? And I'm not going to get that matchup in the divisional round, thank God. So I think they will meet in the AFC Championship, and we'll see who will win that explosive matchup. But we still have a ways to go before we get there, because let's now move on to the Saturday games, and let's start with the Indianapolis Colts, who went to Houston and beat the Texans 21-7. Deshaun Watson reduced to the fraud Watson once again. And look, again, I've said he's had a good season. I'm not going to rail on Deshaun Watson today, but he didn't show up yesterday. I mean, point blank period. Now, the offensive line needs improvement, and we know that. They give up 60 sacks this season. That's ridiculous, all right? I don't know why they ever traded away Dwayne Brown at left tackle. That still bewilders me, but that's the decision that they made. Okay, all right, but this is what's going to happen. Indianapolis Colts, they're coming. I mean, and it's scary right now because they're playing very well on both sides of the football. Andrew Luck is back to playing at MVP level status, and this is scary. And the Kansas City Chiefs got to be scared next week. I mean, like I said, I have the Chiefs and the Chargers, but man, if the Colts can get some stops defensively, I know Andrew Luck is going to continue to put points on that Chiefs defense. Now, if there's anyone that can go toe-to-toe with Andrew Luck is Tom Brady, for sure, right? He's never beaten Tom Brady, and Patrick Mahomes, I believe, can too. But it's going to be a hell of a battle, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen there. That is going to be interesting. The 6th seed Indianapolis Colts, man, they look dangerous right now. Wow, my goodness. And then finally, the Dallas Cowboys that were able to defeat the Seattle Seahawks 24-22. And Dak Prescott, man, I mean, like, there are some quarterbacks that are just winners. Like, they just know how to win. They do everything possible in order to win. And you saw that on that late touchdown, the go-ahead touchdown. Actually, not even the go-ahead touchdown, the touchdown that really separated themselves, put them up 24-14. He willed his way into the end zone. The guy's a winner. And you saw that even last week, week 17 against the New York Giants, a meaningless game for both teams, but still having the propensity, the ability, and the will to win. This guy is a winner, people. Although he's not going to have the prolific statistics every year, he is a winner, and I do believe he's a Cowboys quarterback moving forward. I really do believe that. I don't think they're going to have an offense like New Orleans Saints or the LA Rams, but can they keep the game close? Can their defense limit the other team? Can Ezekiel Elliott run the ball well? If all that can happen, then Dak Prescott can take you that extra step and win you games. They're going to have a hell of an effort next week against the LA Rams, but they can get it done, people. I mean, I've seen the Rams at home. The Rams have almost no home field advantage as far as I'm concerned. I've seen them lose in LA plenty of times. Remember, they lost in LA last year to the Atlanta Falcons, who are not a strong playoff team. They lost this year, only a couple weeks ago, to the Philadelphia Eagles, and we know the Dallas Cowboys, or at least I believe, that the Dallas Cowboys are better than the Philadelphia Eagles right now. Now, both are still playing, right? One is 10-6, one is 9-7. They're both moving on to the divisional round. But I'm telling you, if the Eagles could go to LA and really dominate most of that game until the Rams came back late and were able to make it a closer score than it actually was, 30-23, what will the Dallas Cowboys do coming off the heels of what was an impressive victory here? Again, the score says 24-22, but really this was a 24-14 victory. I mean, for all intents and purposes. All right, so, I mean, my goodness, things are just continuing to be interesting in these playoffs. These playoffs are unpredictable, and I'm loving it, people. I am enjoying myself watching the 2019 NFL playoffs. So what are your thoughts thus far on the playoffs? Who do you have making the Super Bowl? Have your predictions changed? Are your brackets already busted? Mine remains alive. Chargers versus Rams, with the Rams winning, but we'll see if that is actually the case, because that could be busted in the upcoming week. Until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.